As soap couples go, Jodie and Daniel seem about as compatible as Mary Taylor teaming up with Gary Windass at a knitting club. Yet, despite all common sense, chemistry has clearly started building between the troubled pair ever since Daniel offered her a place to stay. To be fair, Jodie was hardly in a position to turn down the offer. After her plan to get revenge on Shona collapsed disastrously when she failed to seduce David, she was left scrambling for somewhere to live. And Daniel proved to be the perfect easy target. Letting someone as unpredictable as Jodie settle into his home may not have been the smartest move, but Daniel's judgment has been clouded for quite some time. The struggling Weatherfield High teacher has been falling apart ever since the truth emerged about his former girlfriend, Megan Walsh. Everyone discovered she had only been with Daniel to cover up the fact she was grooming his teenage student, Will Driscoll. Things spiraled even further after Hope Stape made a cutting remark about Megan, causing Daniel to completely lose control at school. His outburst led to Mrs. Crenshaw suspending him from his job. The only reason he even agreed to let Jodie stay was because she blackmailed him, threatening to expose the truth that he never actually went away to the lakes and had instead been hiding alone in his flat while drinking heavily. Unexpectedly, though, Jodie began making herself useful around the house, becoming almost impossible for Daniel to manage without, much like when she slowly settled herself into life with the Platts. It raises the question, are these two simply becoming close friends, or is something more beginning to develop? However, once Daniel starts trying to rebuild his life for Bertie's sake, he cautiously brings up the idea of Jodie finding somewhere else to live. Not long after, Daniel becomes the target of an anonymous online troll calling themselves Truth Teller, who spreads damaging lies claiming Daniel knew about Megan's abuse of Will from the very beginning. And unsurprisingly, the person behind it all is Jodie, but she has no idea just how far she is pushing Daniel toward breaking point. In upcoming Coronation Street scenes, Daniel is cornered by two masked teenagers who throw paint over him while shouting abuse. Furious and humiliated, Daniel lashes out and threatens the pair, while they record his meltdown on their phones and mock him. The incident leaves Daniel looking deeply shaken and emotionally destroyed. But matters only become worse afterward. When Ken learns about the attack, he encourages Daniel to get away for another break. Overcome with guilt, Daniel finally admits he never went on holiday at all and had actually been isolating himself in the flat, relying entirely on Jodie for support. Ken is left stunned by the confession and insists that Bertie deserves far better from his father. Could Jodie's manipulative behavior finally have pushed Daniel to his lowest point yet? Ryan Connor becomes caught up in Coronation Street's explosive murder mystery after making a shocking discovery. Police are continuing their investigation into the death of one of Weatherfield's most hated villains, and the list of suspects keeps growing by the day. Almost everyone connected to Theo appears to have a reason for wanting him gone forever. Leading the suspect list is Todd Grimshaw, Theo's long-suffering partner who suffered months of cruel emotional and physical torment during their toxic relationship. After enduring nearly a year of misery, Todd certainly had motive to want revenge. George Shuttleworth also had every reason to despise Theo. George quickly recognized the signs that Todd was trapped in an abusive relationship and desperately tried to support him alongside Christina Boyd. Meanwhile, detectives have been paying close attention to Gary Windass, whose violent history makes him an obvious person of interest. Summer Spellman has also found herself under suspicion after openly blaming Theo for abandoning Billy Mayhew during the deadly minibus crash. Another major figure in the case is Danielle Silverton, Theo's bitter former wife. Theo left Danielle and their children behind when he chose to start a new life with Todd, and now she is returning to Weatherfield for his funeral, carrying a huge secret of her own. So where exactly does Ryan Connor fit into the chaos? The Chariot Square manager has experienced more than his fair share of trauma over the years. From discovering he had been switched at birth to battling addiction issues and surviving a horrific acid attack intended for Daisy Midgley, Ryan's life has been far from easy. Following the attack, Ryan struggled badly with his confidence and spiraled into destructive behavior involving steroids and explicit online content. But after a difficult recovery, he has finally started putting his life back together. Lately, Ryan has been focused on helping Debbie Webster protect the Chariot Square Hotel from her scheming son Carl, who has been trying to take advantage of her. However, upcoming scenes will drag Ryan directly into Theo's murder case when he suddenly reveals he spotted one of the suspects near the scene on the night Theo died. Tensions are already high after Christina's false statement forced George into dragging Summer into the investigation, leaving Todd furious and unwilling to attend Theo's funeral service. Things become even more explosive when Danielle arrives and publicly accuses Todd of murdering Theo to claim his life insurance money. Mary Taylor quickly leaps to Todd's defense and suggests Danielle herself may have been responsible for Theo's death, causing Danielle to storm out in anger. That is when Ryan follows her outside and drops a bombshell of his own. He recognizes Danielle from the night Theo was killed. Why was Danielle secretly on the street that evening, and what lengths will she go to in order to keep Ryan quiet? Coronation Street viewers are convinced they have uncovered the real reason Tyrone Dobbs has been keeping secrets during the ongoing Theo Silverton murder storyline. Many fans now suspect Tyrone deliberately refused to give Summer Spellman an alibi because he is hiding something major himself. Summer has found herself at the center of the police investigation in recent episodes, with detectives increasingly believing she could be responsible for Theo's death. Suspicion first fell on Summer after Kit Green spotted her wearing a brooch during Carla and Lisa Connor Swain's wedding celebration, the same brooch that was later discovered covered in blood inside Theo's apartment. However, Friday's episode revealed a major twist when Summer explained that Tyrone had actually seen Theo alive after she left the flat on the night he was killed. When D.S. Connor Swain questioned Tyrone about the claim, he completely denied Summer's version of events, but later flashback scenes confirmed that Summer had been telling the truth all along. Fans immediately began wondering why Tyrone would refuse to back her up, and many viewers now believe they know exactly what he is trying to cover up. Theo's murder was not the only shocking event that took place during the wedding night. Elsewhere, Carl Webster was seriously injured after a vehicle collapsed on top of him inside the garage. Before the accident happened, a shadowy figure was seen approaching the car, leaving viewers convinced someone deliberately caused the incident. On social media, fans quickly began sharing their theories beneath a video showing Summer and Theo in the flashback scenes. One viewer commented that they were more suspicious of Tyrone's behavior and questioned whether he could have been the person responsible for dropping the car onto Carl. Another fan suggested Tyrone must have attacked Carl because there seemed to be no other reason for him to lie and leave Summer without support. A third viewer also shared their belief that Tyrone was the one who tampered with the jack in the garage, leading to Carl being crushed beneath the vehicle. While many fans are now convinced Tyrone is connected to Carl's accident, others have floated completely different theories, with one person wondering whether Tyrone might secretly be having an affair, especially since Fizz was beside him while he was being questioned by D.S. Connor Swain. If Tyrone truly was behind what happened to Carl, some viewers believe he had a motive. After all, Carl was responsible for Tyrone's hit-and-run ordeal last year. But with Tyrone refusing to confirm Summer's story, the big question remains: how can Summer possibly prove she is innocent of Theo's murder? Coronation Street continues airing on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.